All right, so good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for taking time out on a Friday, a warm Friday, because it's going to be cold tomorrow, to join us. I know that you all are very busy with your time. You have a lot of things that are going on. If you are new and this is your first time here, I want to welcome you all. Also, if you are new, please make sure that you are on the mailing list. And also, if you can, put your information in the chat so that as you introduce yourselves, people can know who you are. And then if they would like to contact you, you can have sidebar conversations within the Zoom parameters. So my name is Joseph Green. I am the Director of Workforce and Job Development, but I am here as the CSAC West Coordinator and Director here at Westside Health Authority. And the Community Support Advisory Council, CSAC, was created with a goal in mind to empower the men and women who are coming home from different facilities throughout the state of Illinois, to provide them with resources, to provide them with job services and different plans to help them to not recidivate, but to come back with a mindset of empowering themselves, of being focused, being locked in, and using the resources collectively that we have in our communities to help the family, to help bridge the gaps. Over the years, I've sat at this seat since October of 2018. I have been groomed by some of the best, Mr. George Salter, who's now with Habilitator Systems, Mr. Charles Perry, who was one of my mentors, and Mr. Roger Eman, who was my director before he passed the baton. So I'm very glad to sit in this seat. I'm very honored to build these relationships with you. And the collaborative partners are members that you see on this call, are members who are not on this call, right? We are recording this so that you can see this later at a different time. And I always send out the links. We have a YouTube page. We have a Facebook group that you can join. As other people are introducing themselves, I will put those links in the chat. Feel free to join them. I control all of those different assets. And then make sure that you're on our mailing list, which is csacwestchicago@gmail.com. But it's very easy to reach me at my email address, which is jgreen@healthauthority.org. That's the best way to reach me, or to give me a call. And I'll put all my information in the chat as needed. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, but before we do introductions, we always like to pray in. Westside Health Authority is a faith-based organization, and it's the way we do it, right? So it's been a very busy morning for me, and I want to talk about what I did this morning and what I would like to share with you guys. But I do want to do just a quick prayer. And Jones is in the building. Well, you know what? Let me do it, because I'm in the spirit and I'm feeling myself. So, Father, thank you for bringing us here today. And I thank you for the individuals that are on this call and those who watch this video later. Continue to give us the strength, the wisdom, and the knowledge to be able to build relationships, help the individuals that we need to help, and give them the resources and tools they need to overcome. We are trying to build our communities up. We are trying to build our foundation up. And it is you that gives us the strength every day to do this work. Lord, I ask that you bless our families and friends, and keep our neighborhoods safe. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
So with that being said, I would like for everybody to just briefly introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, what is your position, and where you come from. And then if you have announcements, we will kind of go to that a little bit later in time. All right, because I'm gonna make it very quick because I know your time is important. So again, my name is Joseph Green. I'm with Westside Health Authority, CSAC West, and I'll pass it to Ms. Steedman.
Hello, I'm Joy. I'm the general manager of Clean Turn here in Chicago. And yeah, that's all.
All right. Ms. Shorter.
Hello, I'm Tiana Shorter. I'm from the University of Illinois Extension, and we are nutritionists and food educators in the community.
All right. Ms. Reese.
I was just about to start talking without unmuting myself. My name's Kiara Reese. I'm a community health worker transitioning into project manager for the CDPH Rush Vaccination and Testing Team. Nice to meet you all.
Right. Ms. Pinkston?
Good afternoon, everyone. Valerie Pinkston from the Department of Justice at the U.S. Attorney's Office, and I am the Reentry and Community Outreach Coordinator.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Green.
All right, you botting a little bit. Try to look at you botting just a little bit. Mr. Rush? Oh, for those who don't know, the term body means that you sound like a robot. So your connection may be a little bit, it may be a little janky. So when I say your body, that's what it means. I'm a techie person. So Mr. Rush, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Great, thank you. John Rush with CEO of Clean Turn, and here with Joy, and glad to connect with some of you we saw at an event not too long ago, and others, it's our first time meeting. Pleasure meeting you. And I'm actually in Detroit right now at a conference with a group called Clean Slate, not Clean Slate in Chicago, but Clean Slate, the national initiative to encourage expungement and a clean record, et cetera, et cetera. So they had me here today, and it's pretty awesome. My first time in Detroit, so.
All right. Beauty?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Beauty, and I bring you greetings from Habilitator Systems. And just like Joseph, we had so many meetings this morning, and I got your back, boy. But I'm the community engagement specialist right here. I just love these meetings. Smile, niece.
Now, Ms. Robinson, you can go ahead.
Hi, I'm Ella from Above and Beyond Family Recovery Center. I am a VISTA Community Outreach Coordinator, and it's so nice to be here with you all.
Yes, ma'am. Joyce? Unmute yourself, ma'am.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Joyce Edwards. I work at Target Area Development for Reentry. I'm a reentry case manager.
Yes, ma'am. Welcome. So
Thank you.
Target area would also be CSAC South.
Yes.
I'll get into that once everybody introduces themselves. Ms. Phillips?
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, rather. My name is Maddie Phillips. I'm the Executive Director of Life Changing Family Services and Jesus Word Center Church on the west side. On the west side.
I hadn't met you yet. Hi, Ms. Phillips.
Yeah,
How you doing?
Doing great, great. Good to
Glad
meet
to
you
see
today,
you.
too. Yes.
Glad to see you. Mr. Jones, you have the floor.
Yes, indeed. I'm Ant Jones with the Street Priest and West Side Rising. I'm a reentry and outreach specialist.
Valerie, you had your hand raised. You gotta unmute yourself.
Sorry about that. Do I sound better now?
Yes, ma'am, you do. Absolutely.
Okay. When I log in through work, it gets body, as you said. May I please reintroduce myself so that people can hear all of me?
Absolutely.
Thank you. So my apologies, everyone. Valerie Pinkston with the Department of Justice at the U.S. Attorney's Office, and my title is Reentry and Community Outreach Coordinator. And again, Mr. Green, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Mr. Hart.
Good afternoon, everyone. Richard Hart, Salvation Army, also known as Pathway Forward, the federal work release over here on Chicago Avenue, and I'm the director.
All right. Ms. Clayton.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am the new community relations specialist here at Bobby E. Wright. I just have one announcement that we're going to be hosting an event called
I'm not to cut you off. I'm sorry. We were gonna hold those.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You walking around behind you in the back. Yeah, we're gonna announce those in a little bit.
Okay, sure.
And if you have the flyer, you're welcome to share it in the chat if you want to with everybody.
For sure. Okay, so my name is Kendra, and I'm the new community relations specialist here at Bobby E. Wright.
Yes, ma'am. I'm glad to have you on the call.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Who am I missing? Oh, Dorian Grace.
Hi, can you all hear me? I'm not sure if I have a microphone that works.
Yes, we can. We hear you perfectly.
Awesome. Hi, I'm Dorian. I'm one of the team leads over at the Renaissance Living Room. I don't know if you've all met. You've met the other team lead, Lauren Phillips. He couldn't be here today, but I will be joining you.
Appreciate you joining us. And I would love for you to kind of talk about that a little bit later, what you guys are doing over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That goes into our next phase of what I want to announce later. Ms. Perkins.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Maureen Perkins. I am the Community Engagement Specialist, working closely with the Chicago Neighborhood Policing Initiative. We work closely with communities on the South and West sides, with community ambassadors, as well as law enforcement and district leaderships there. And I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Right. Glad to have you. So as you see, everybody announced themselves. You got people in, what he said, Detroit. You got people all over the city of Chicago, all over. And I'm very thankful for you to be on this call, but it just shows that it really takes a village, all of us connecting together. And there are a lot of other individuals who are not on the call today. Let's just be for real. So I'm glad that you all are here, but this is an opportunity for you to connect with everybody and then collaborate. You may have services that clients may need. You may have programs that clients may need. You may have things going on. And this is a way for us to collaborate. Hopefully this year, I want to do some type of a resource fair where we can all come together, but I'm looking for us to come back together and meet face to face. Now, June is going to be a very big month. It's going to be very tough. There's a lot of different things with Juneteenth going around, at least those first couple of weeks, and I want to get into that. So I don't know if we're going to have a meeting for June, to be honest with you, because they're going to be, you guys are probably going to be having events in June around that time. And because that Friday is leading into Juneteenth weekend, I'm thinking that we're going to cancel the meeting right now, per se, just because when I make this announcement about this other stuff, you'll kind of understand why. It's going to be very busy and all of you are going to have different things going on. I will try my best to be at all the different events, even if I can only stay for like maybe 10 or 15 minutes, because Westside Health Authority is going to have events. I'm sure you're going to have events, but we want to make sure, I want to make sure that I'm being supportive of everybody that's on this call and everybody that's watching later. So before we begin with the announcements, I do want to talk about some of the things that have been going on with parole. So of course, we know that April was Second Chance Month. Jennifer Perrick from the Illinois Department of Corrections was nice enough to allow those I should say the Director Jeffries of IDOC allowed a lot of grassroots organizations on the West Side to actually join virtual Zoom calls. And I was one of those individuals who was lucky enough to be on the call. So for the whole month of April, every Friday, I was able to be on calls with individuals and just really talk to them about the resources that we have, that you guys have. Understand, when I am speaking for CSAC, I do not just speak for Westside Health Authority, I speak for you. Because Westside Health Authority does not have all the resources. We don't have all of the programs, right? We are a small organization, but we are a big organization in a lot of ways because we care about the people that we service, right? So it is my job to let people know what you guys have, right? So if someone is mental health, substance abuse, right? Substance abuse, I'm looking at Above and Beyond, Bobby E. Wright, GEO, right? If they're looking for programming for jobs, right? I'm looking at the new, Clean Turn and what they're trying to bring to the table. Miss Phillips, Pastor Phillips on the West Side in K-Town, they have a lot of things where she's helping people to get IDs and we've partnered with them to do some of those things. Habilitative systems, all of the different things that they're doing on the West Side. So it's important for us to connect. Aunt Jones and West Side Ministries and everything that they're doing. So it's important for us to connect, but it's also important for us to collaborate, right? We're trying to do something with Safer Foundation where we're going to get these young adults into these CNC machinery programs, right? It's important to network. My goal, and it will always be my goal, and it will always be to make sure that I am making an impact in the community. I don't care who gets the credit. I don't care whose name or what. I don't worry about that. The only thing I'm worrying about is this: am I making a difference with the people that I serve? I'm a servant of the people, pretty much. The Community Support Advisory Council has two other entities. We have the North Side, which is CSAC North, the Howard Area Center, and then we have CSAC South, which is Target Area, which Joyce is a part of. So if you have clients that are on the South Side, there is also an alternative for them to go on the South Side. If you have clients that are on the North Side that need assistance, there's an alternative on the North Side. And of course, we are here in the middle on the West Side, right? Sometimes we get clients from all the way from the hundreds. Sometimes we get clients from way up north by Evanston. But we're going to service everybody. We service everybody no matter what their background is. There are some limitations to what we can do. But I will put the information in the chat as I let other people speak. So we were supposed to be focusing on in June our Fatherhood in the Neighborhood initiative with the Congressman Danny Davis for the for his district. Because it is an election year, and I don't really know what is going on with the Illinois Department of Corrections. I think it has something to do with COVID. That has been shut down. We were planning to take a trip to Sheridan Correctional Facility, and this is a facility that we've gone to visit every year since I've been in this seat. But before COVID hit, we kind of had to slow it down. So our last physical trip was to Danville around Christmas time, which a lot of you know about. But this year we were still planning to go without the congressman. We were gonna go, but we got the message maybe the day before yesterday that the trip is gonna have to be canceled. And we're still, what we're gonna do is, I think, and Beauty can probably contest to this, we're gonna make a video. Every person who is interested, they'll do a 1-minute presentation. You know, just video, hey, my name is Joseph Green. We do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then, you know, wish them a happy Father's Day. And this video will be played throughout all of the correctional facilities. So one thing that I would say about last month when I was on that call, I was on a call with every single correctional facility. And I started getting calls from a lot of people because I gave my information out, right? So if you know of housing for sex offenders, please get in contact with me. If you know of housing in general for men and women coming home, please get in contact with me. Please share it in the chat. Please share that information. That is one of the biggest things and one of the hardest things that we as service is trying to do is help people get housing. And I think there's this misconception that we can just pull a rabbit out of our hat and then, hey, I can put you somewhere. I know that Safer has a program. Heartland Alliance has a program, but there are waiting lists on these programs. So if we can find more places where we can find housing for our women and for our men, please keep me in the loop, share that information, right? Because we want to be able to help people. You know, I can help them get a job. I can help them find their purpose. I can help them to learn a skill, but the housing is one of the hardest components. And some of you who are on this call, I think Ms. Moon just jumped on, a lot of us advocated on the behalf so that there could be no discrimination against those who are coming home. So the work has been done, right? We just have to be able to find a way to get housing for these individuals. And one of the hardest things is to get housing for people with that background. So if you know of any connections, share it, right? We're not trying to overflood it, but we are trying to help some individuals on a case-by-case basis. You know, some things, you know, but I look at it as a case-by-case basis, okay? So, any announcements anybody would like to do? Because I want to talk about Clean Turn, and then I want to give the floor to our guest speakers so that they can talk about their programs and things that they're doing. So if you have any announcements, you have the floor.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is LaTanya, Community Liaison with the State Attorney's Office, Community Justice Center. Thank you so much, Joseph, for this opportunity. Just want to let you guys know, I am partnering with one of the coaches at Austin High School, and we're looking to host a pop-up shop for our young entrepreneurs in the Austin community, young teenagers who want to start their own business. We have some who has their own cosmetic line, clothing line. And so we're looking for entrepreneurs who would like to be a part of the pop-up shop, just kind of either have a presentation for the young people, words of encouragement for them, or any type of nuggets of wisdom that they can glean from on that day as they're starting off on their entrepreneur business. But these are at-risk youth. These are young people who have been in trouble, and we're just trying to help them refocus that energy into something positive. We're looking to do that in late July. So we're waiting for the pop courts. I believe they're on Chicago Avenue to let us know dates that they have available. It will either be the last Saturday in July or the second Saturday in August. So if you guys know that that's something you want to be a part of, I'm going to put my information in the chat. Please connect with me as we, trying to give these young people something positive to do with their talents.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And I will speak for Miss McGay. She does the work, and the pop-up courts are ran by WHA. So that should be something huge, right? We are trying to get that entrepreneurial spirit. The goal for Austin, and I'm speaking primarily for Austin and Garfield and Lindale and all these different areas on the west side, even the Humboldt Park area, we need to bring that money and bring those businesses back to the communities, and we need to patronate these businesses so that we can start to bring an influx of money to our community. And I know that's something that John and Joy are very passionate about, and they're going to talk about a little bit later. They're very passionate about impacting and making an impact in the community, right? But creating an entrepreneur, right, by teaching them that skill, or if they already have an idea, help them cultivate that. So I appreciate you for sharing that. And if you get a flyer, as soon as you get all the information, send it to me, and I'll be sure to put it out there to everybody.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
I think Ms. Clayton had an announcement that she wanted to make.
Yes. Sorry, I'm trying to turn on my video. Yes, so the announcement is, so we have an event going on next Thursday in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month. It's going to be about adverse childhood experiences, for short ACEs. So that event is just going to be, we're just going to be discussing how childhood trauma impacts us as we start to reach or age into our adult years, how our childhood experiences affect us as adults. And that event is going to be on May 26th at 6 p.m. I will figure out a way to get it to you all. I wrote down all of your emails, so I can also email to you. I don't think a flyer can fit, so I'll just manually email all the flyers to you all. Huh?
I'll put the link in the chat for you too.
Okay,
if
thank
you
you.
want to copy and paste it, if you're on a personal computer, you can copy.
Okay, I see it. Yep. Okay, thank you so much. Yes, so that event is going to be next Thursday at 6 p.m. and it's called ACEs, in regards to ACEs.
Joseph, I have one quick announcement.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm piggybacking off of Kendra, how she was talking about the mental health part. Next Wednesday, over at the 4133 build on Madison, we will be doing a paint therapy party over there for anybody in the community that would like to come out and just relieve and do. I ain't got none of my paintings here, they all at home. Damn it. Just to unwind for mental health, you have to find your outage. And I found Master Paint. I ain't no good artist, I'm gonna tell y'all now, but I love to dabble with paint. But right after, and that will be at the 4133 from 12 to 2 on Wednesday, May 25th. Also on that day, we will have the Trauma and Community Violence Seminar there as well at 4133 from 5 to 7:30. So after you get your relaxation on, you can find out how we can help combat these traumas of the community. It is open to everyone.
All right. Any other announcements? Oh, Maria Moon, you didn't introduce yourself. Could you let them know who you are? I know you're driving.
That's okay. Hello, Brother Joseph. Hello, everybody. My name is Maria Moon. I am the Senior Housing Justice Organizer with Chicago Area Fair Housing Alliance. And I am formerly incarcerated and glad to be here. This is my favorite meeting.
Thank you. Any other announcements? Because I want to talk about this clean turn, and then I want to not clean turn, but I want to talk about CityServe, this CityServe initiative. No other announcements? Ms. Perkins, you ain't got no announcement? Ms. Perkins, I don't have an announcement.
I know. I haven't been on in a minute, so I'm just really listening in.
Yes,
You know, most of my colleagues who work in the Austin community, 15th district and the West Side, I know that they're meeting with a few organizations, Build and Breakthrough, just a few organizations and the work that they're doing around their public safety priorities and just supporting some of those orgs who are, you know, doing things, especially for the summertime. And so, but we definitely want to connect with some individuals who, when they having these events, to be vendors, pass out your information, et cetera. So I can, Joseph, I can send you my colleagues' information so that when they are partnering or having some summer initiatives, they can definitely, you know, use some support.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Part of my new role is to also work with the youth as well. So when Latanya was talking about that entrepreneur for the youth, I'm working with everybody now. So I'm not only working with our men and women coming home, but I'm working with our children as well. And there are a lot of different programs that we're trying to collaborate with and different organizations to collaborate with so that we can give them those skills now. And we're talking about everything from job development, workforce development, but also teaching them bank, you know, savings account, checking account, credit, how does it work? These are different organizations that we've partnered with and different banking companies that we've partnered with so that we can share this information with not only our returning citizens, our veterans, our seniors as well, so we can empower the community. But we need people to come out and show up and be a part of it, be a part of the solution. It's time to stop sitting on the fence. It's time for us as a community to start coming out, walking out on faith, and really start empowering ourselves with this information. 2022 is the time to learn. And if we're not learning, then we stay stagnant and we never reach our true potential. So that's part of the purpose of me. And I know that it's part of the purpose of many of you on this call that's doing this work. Are there any other announcements or anything? All right, so clean turn. No, sorry, CityServe. I don't know why I keep getting them mixed up. CityServe is an agenda that I am currently on. I have been asked to be on the board. There was a slide that I wanted to show, but it won't work for some reason. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share the flyer. It's an opportunity for you in your community, especially if you have a church hub, where you can get free merchandise for your community. We're giving this merchandise out for free, okay? CityServe is based in California. They came to Chicago maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago, to talk to the congressman and Johnny Miller of JLM Church. And really, we all came together collectively with the idea that we can bring CityServe to Illinois. We can bring CityServe to Chicago. So we're currently going to be focused on the congressman's district, of course, because he's the one that brought this to the table. But picture a truck with over $400,000 worth of merchandise. This can be food. This can be furniture, this can be bikes, this can be school supplies, given from different organizations, Walmart, Amazon. There are a lot of different things that come, and let's say they don't get sold or maybe they get returned. There's nothing wrong with them. IKEA is another organization as well, right? That are giving us these different things. So we're gonna have 3 trucks coming in, and we're gearing for this event to happen on June 20th, which is the actual day of Juneteenth. And the goal is to help our seniors. The goal is to help our veterans. The goal is to help our returning citizens. The goal is to help those who cannot help themselves. The goal is to help people in need. So we want everybody, especially if you're on the West Side, be a part of this, right? Come out to our meetings. The meetings are at JLM. Beauty, what's the address over there?
2622 Jackson.
West Jackson, 2622 West Jackson. They have a meeting every Friday at 9 a.m. until we get this done. So we
Do
need.
you have the flyers, or do you want me to put it in the chat?
You can put it in the chat, most definitely. I
Got you.
appreciate it. We have, like, they just had a big breakfast. I don't eat meat and all that, right? So they eating all in my face. It's grits and gravy and fried fish all in my face. I'm like, oh, I miss it, right? Right, but you know, it's
The
just
chicken was fat, Joseph. Man,
I know
he
it
put the
was.
right amount of seasoning in that. I'm just telling you, he smothered that good.
They eating all this in my face, right? And I'm just sitting here by Miss Logan, and I'm just like, I gotta go. I got my mango bites. I got my juice. This is me right here, right? Trying to get right. But with that being said, it's not even about the food. It's not about the fellowship. It's really about the impact that you can make, right? And if you are interested in being a part of this, get in contact with me. I'm looking for 10 people to volunteer. I'm looking for 10 people to come, whether you want to help by physical labor or if you want to connect people to the resources. There are different committees that you can be on, right, that are doing different things. We have a warehouse team. Pretty much the warehouse team is pretty much going to be set up because IDOC is going to be involved. They're going to use this time to give those who are sitting in certain areas, they can actually help. And then this can be used on their resume, and it could also be used as good time for their process. So we're pretty much good on that part, but we need to get the word out. We need people to find out what your clients need. I know Miss Phillips, she's over on the West Side. She has clients that can use this furniture, right? Now, the key is that when you create the hub, we need for you to pick it up from our main location and then you distribute it to your people. So once we find out exactly what's going to be on the trucks, we will have a database of everything logistically. And I'm part of that team, so I'll be doing the logistics of how many chairs, how many couches, how many bikes, because we don't know yet. We paid for the trucks. Once those 3 trucks come, we have a full team with forklift drivers, everything. Now, if you have forklift drivers, we do maybe need a couple of forklift drivers. So if you know someone, I don't care if they're return assistant, whoever, if they have forklift experience, get them in contact with me so we can bring them to the table. But I ask, if you are interested, just come to the meeting and be a part of it, because this is going to be huge. And we're going to be doing this quarterly. It's not just going to be one thing. This is going to be year round. This is going to be quarterly. So we wanted to do it for Juneteenth. We wanted to do it for the community. And we're hoping that you are interested and want to be a part of it. Did you put it in the flyer in the chat?
No, for some reason my phone won't let me.
Okay, so after this meeting, I will put the flyer on Facebook, and I'll also put the flyer. When they start talking, I'll put the flyer in the chat because I can't do 2 things at once. So when our first presenter starts to talk, like near the end, I'll start to put stuff in the chat just because I want you to pay attention to what these women are doing. And they were supposed to be our speakers for last month, but like I said, it was canceled because of the holiday. And I wanted to make sure that we had enough people on the call so they can understand how important both of them and what they're doing. So clean, City Serve. CityServe, I would love for you to be a part of it. I didn't ask to be on the board. They were like, Joseph Green gonna be on the board, and the congressman was like, I'll second the motion. And I was just like, okay, do I tell him no? Right? So I just did it, right? So, all right, Ms. Perkins, have a good one. So I'm on the board, but it's a lot of work, but I think it takes a village. It takes all of us. So if you're interested, whether you have people that have needs, get on the team so you can help your community, help your people out. So with that being said, I want to introduce our first guest speaker. This young lady was one of the first people that I met. She is from day one since I started. She's always welcomed me with open arms. She's always tried to empower me, and she is very passionate about the work that she does. Since day one, I've just loved her spirit, and I asked her to do this, not to really tell you about what she does, but to see who on this call is willing to share their resources for what she's doing, because the work that she's doing is very important, and the people that she is serving need your services, right? So it's not going to just, it takes a lot of us to be a part of it. I know that JR has been on the call, Mr. Perry's been on the call. I mean, not the call, but they've actually talked to individuals, but we need more, right? And they are doing this all across the city. So you don't have to be on the west side to make an impact. I've said enough. I would like to introduce Ms. Valerie Pinkston. She is the Reentry and Outreach Community for the U.S. Department of Justice, U.S. Attorney's Office. So you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Can you hear me okay? No bot voices?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. I will say I'm very humbled by that introduction. I wasn't quite sure that was me you were introducing for a second.
It was you. It was you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're making me blush. So hello again, everyone. Again, I'm from the Department of Justice. I work at the U.S. Attorney's Office. And I say this every single time. I work at the U.S. Attorney's Office. I'm not an attorney. My title is Reentry and Community Outreach Coordinator, which I will say that the reentry side of my work takes up 90% of what I do, because I think it's such an important, work that sometimes does not get enough attention, except by the people like all of us who are working in it. And then of course I put the other 10% into some community outreach stuff for, to make my office happy that I'm doing it, but it usually involves some type of reentry work. So the reason that I am so happy to be on this call, like I always am with CSAC, is that I host the Project Safe Neighborhood Forums for my office. I've been doing it for about 6.5 years now. And for those of you who are not familiar, which I only recognize 2 people on the call, Ms. Perkins, who just left, and Mr. Hart from Salvation Army. Hey, Mr. Hart, miss you much. Project Safe Neighborhood is a initiative throughout the entire United States through the Department of Justice to reduce violence, specifically here in Chicago, to reduce gun violence. So with that being said, the forums run for an hour, usually every other Thursday, and it has 30 parolees in attendance. These are generally men who have some sort of conviction on their record that has given them a felony. What exactly that is, I never ask, because that's not what I do. That's not important to me. What's important to me is getting the message across to them. Number one, there's a law enforcement side, and that explains to them if they continue to do whatever it was that got them arrested in the first place. There are repercussions. It's an informative meeting. It's not a big brother in your face type of scare you meeting. It's not that by any means. It's just to give them the knowledge of what can happen to them if they continue to be in a criminal lifestyle. But on the other hand, which is just as important as receiving the law enforcement information, is where all of you folks come in. And that is for the community engagement piece, the community providers that offer the, yes, Emily Peters. JARC is one of our speakers. So the community providers, as in JARC, I know Joseph Green has spoken for me before. Charles Perry is a regular. Safer Foundation, just to name a couple people. But I'm always looking for more speakers because I always believe we can never have enough opportunities to give these men and women coming out of prisons, whether that be federal probation or IDOC parole, which are the Thursday meetings. I can never, ever have enough information. And if for some reason you just can't get out to the meetings, they are held in the 7 most violent districts in Chicago. I know some people I've had contact me and just say they're not comfortable going out there, which is completely understandable. You can always email me a flyer. And I have a packet about this big full of resources that I give at every meeting to every parolee that walks in. So they have that resources. So if anyone, and I can go on forever about this, but I just realized I'm kind of talking and I know it is a beautiful Friday, so I don't want to keep everyone online. But if anyone is interested in speaking, we serve the West Side to the far South Side, Middle South Side, I guess you can say, all over Chicago, except with the North Side. But that's a good thing for the North Side because that means they're not one of the most violent districts in Chicago. Please feel free to reach out to me. If, again, you want to just have your information submitted for a flyer, I am more than happy to include you in my packet. And I think that's about it. Like I said, I don't want to keep on talking. I know we have another speaker and I'm excited to hear what she's doing as well. Thank you. But so again, that kind of sums it up. The meetings are 1 hour. I asked the community folks to at least be there for the last half an hour of it. I realized, a lot of folks are coming from work. Some of these are in farther locations, so it's not always easy to be there at 6, and that's perfectly fine. I am cognizant that everyone is so busy nowadays, especially with, the real life coming back. So I always say I'd rather have somebody there for 20 minutes and to offer their services than to not be there at all. So that is about it for me. Again, Mr. Green, so great to see you, and thank you for having me. I will agree with the lady earlier who said, CSACs are one of her favorite meetings, and I've been doing it since I started, attending the South, North, and the West Side, and they are some of my favorite meetings. I've made great connections through all of these, and I cannot personally wait until we are in person and see people in, real life, as we are so accustomed to saying now. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
Oh yeah, question.
Because you definitely want to get involved. Definitely want to get involved.
I do have a question. My organization is one that generally sees clients in a group setting. Is your organization an organization that has like group setting for those individuals that are re-entering into society, or like what is the setup?
So it's 30 parolees that are voluntold through IDOC to attend. It's part of their release conditions to attend this meeting. And again, these are only parolees that live in certain police districts of Chicago, and they have certain background offenses that will have them attending the meeting. So they're a very particular group of men, generally men, in these meetings. Every once in a while there's women, and there's just not as many women on that fit the criteria for this meeting, but there are occasionally. But again, it's mostly men. But and those people that are sitting in the seats, those 30 individual parolees, are selected through the Illinois Department of Corrections.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. If possible, I would just like to connect with you just to talk about, possibilities of our organization coming in and maybe doing some programming with you all.
Sure.
All
absolutely.
Right. Okay.
Thank you.
Ella?
Yeah, so this sounds really great and interesting. Wow. I guess I'm wondering, so I have some people who I bet would like to come talk, but is it more them sharing their experiences like in the prison situation, or kind of how to get out of that and away from that lifestyle? Like we're a recovery center, and recovery was a big part of a lot of people's ways out of that lifestyle. So like, do we want to go and like kind of plug ourselves, push our services?
Sure. And that actually is something that I failed to specifically address, and thank you for that, Ella. So I'll use you, Ella, as an example. If you contact me, you say, hey, I really want to attend this, So what you would do is you would come to the meeting, the law enforcement piece goes first, then the community providers, and during your 5 to 7 minute speech, some people speak, like myself, I usually speak pretty fast, so mine would wrap up in 3 minutes. Some people take longer. You can introduce yourself, and if you're comfortable saying, you know, I once walked this journey, which a lot of my speakers do give their personal information, but it's not required by any means. And then once or you can just say, you know, my name is Ella and I work for XYZ company and I'm here to tell you about, and then you tell what services that you have to offer, you know, the parolees that are in attendance. So thank you. I completely forgot that part of what you would be doing when you attend. I always tell folks that we'll be presenting, you can bring your own flyers or you can email them to me ahead of time and I can put them in the packet, you know, just so that you're not walking around with big bundles of paper, you know, whatever's easier. I have some providers that do both. They'll have like certain events coming up, so they'll have flyers with them and then they'll pass those out, but their normal, regular, like contact flyer is always in my packet. And again, I give those to
she went way out. She faded all the way out. Joy, you better stop laughing so hard. You've been laughing the whole day. John, you better get her.
Really thought something was going wrong with me because I was like,
No,
wait.
Right. I thought it was my phone that just knocked her out. Okay.
No, here she come. There she go. That's the power of the internet, baby.
I actually, my apologies. I was receiving a call and I'm not real tech savvy with the phone. So if you can only attend, say, the 4th district of the Chicago Police Department, which is the far, far south side, I would have your flyer in every packet for every forum. It's not just specific to the one that you can attend, or if you only want them for like the west side or the south side, I can always tailor it. But I like to include as much information to give to every single one parolee, whether it's north, south, because sometimes folks might live on the west side, but they want to get out of the west side and go to the south side. So I like to include resources from all over the city. And even though I don't personally hold the forums on the north side, I include information for the north side, such as CSAC North, so that, again, if someone wants to go up north, you know, to get out of the neighborhood or, you know, to find a different community to be involved in, I always think that's, you know, they're choosing if they want to do that. I don't want to limit them to just their neighborhood information. I hope that answered the question.
Any more questions?
Can you put your info in the chat for us so we can get in touch with you?
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone.
It's a great way to connect. You might, usually if you talk to people, you should be fine, right? You be a little intimidating, but if you're used to talking to people, it's not, right?
Yeah, no. And it's a very again, and I always say it's an informative meeting, and that goes for, you know, both sides of the table, the law enforcement and the community providers, because all of us are there to give information and opportunities to the parolees. We're not there to judge. We're not there to ask them questions. They just sit there basically the entire time and listen. And then at the end, when all the speakers have finished wrapping up, then we encourage questions to each individual presenter from the parolee. So that could be like a one-on-one conversation, which has found to be more beneficial to the parolees than, you know, people just raising their hands. And that makes for a much longer meeting than 1 hour. So, you know, we tailor it like that. But I've never had anyone not feel comfortable. And I've never had nobody say, I'm never going back. I actually, the exact opposite. It's like, we want to continue to speak, so.
Because the one on the west side is at New Bethel New Life.
Yes.
So it's a controlled environment. It's very nice in there. I was surprised at how it was because I usually go to integrated staffing. Integrated staffing is more for those individuals around with tasks. and the correctional officer. So it's a little bit different, but it's really the same thing, right? It's just a bigger audience. And it's a great way to get your information out. I know Ms. Peters, I met one of her individuals at the last meeting. And that was my first time going because I got the soup kitchen on Thursday.
Right.
And I'm tired. I'm like, man, I don't want to go all the way with it. But I was like, I'm going. And I was glad that I went. It was very empowering. And it had been a while that I was able to actually see people face to face, right? And do what I do. So I thank you for your time today and appreciate you for letting us know. If you want to get in contact with her, she put her information in the chat. Shoot her an email and let's set up a date when they come back around to whatever side of town. And then she can put you in her email list and then let you know the days that are going to happen. So that is every week, correct?
Every other Thursday or so. And they run until the middle of November for this year.
Okay.
And again, we're all over the city, north or west, south, far south side.
Yes, ma'am.
And yes, just to kind of piggyback off something you said just a minute ago, Joseph, is that this is a very controlled environment. There are parole agents there, and there's also a semi-heavy police presence outside of the forums, and that's for everyone's safety, both the speakers and the parolees in attendance.
Well, really ain't nobody on that type of time, so you good.
No.
Come on out.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Information, share it. You be surprised who you connect with and who you empower on that call. So
oh yeah.
I appreciate you taking time out because I know we were supposed to do it last month. So thank you again.
Absolutely.
Are there any other questions? I know Ms. Latica just popped on the call. She does the same thing at Cook County. But if there isn't any other questions, then I will move on to our next guest speaker who's been laughing at me all day. And I guess that's because of the relationship that I've built with her and her CEO, Mr. Rush. So Clean Turn, which I've been saying all day, I just so happened to be invited to a gathering at the Waldorf Astoria, right? I've never been to this hotel before in my life. And I'm walking in with Mr. Charles Perry and all these different people that I know. And I meet John and I meet his wife and I meet Joy. And we get the, we're networking, we're talking about their initiative. I'm telling them what we're doing. And we ended up just really hitting it off, right? Because the work that their organization, their company is doing is extremely beneficial. And they're going to get it. She's going to get into that. But I just want you to understand that it's not just to make money. His goal is to empower the community. And I don't know if he's going to share his story because I know Joy has the floor, but Joy is in the community, right? Which I was shocked to find out. But then when we did our tour and we really connected, it's just really been just wonderful. We're now partnering with them. And as they grow here in Chicago, I'm hoping that you will connect with them and grow with them as they start to build out, which started in Columbus, Ohio, and is now migrated to the city of Chicago. And they're doing great things. And I think it's just a wonderful opportunity for some of our men and women who are coming home. And it's not just a job. They want to create entrepreneurs to create their own clean turns, if that's possible, right? And with the mindset that they have, anything is possible. So I didn't tooted y'all horn enough. Without further ado, I would like to introduce Ms. Joy Steedman. You have the floor.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, I know the laughing at you is all in love. It's nothing you don't know.
I know.
But yeah, so my name's Joy. I'm originally from the west side of Chicago. And so I had the opportunity to work with Clean Turn when I was in school in Columbus. Started as a cleaner. We're a commercial cleaning company. So I started with them when I was going to school, just found out what their mission was, which is to kind of shorten the gap between incarceration and employment. And so they started 10 years ago now in Columbus, Ohio. and had the opportunity of meeting someone on their staff, like at a wedding. Like it was just a God moment, just like aligned us meeting there. And she told me what she did. And I was like, yeah, I want to be a part of that in any way I can. So started cleaning with the company, got to work alongside a lot of individuals that I love and admire to this day, and have seen them continue to grow in the company, which has been really sweet and really, yeah, just inspiring. And then was able to be in management with them in Columbus. And then now I wanted to bring it, back home to where I grew up. And so my office is now in North Lawndale, and we started in August, just kind of getting different companies and partnering with different reentry organizations to kind of start a similar mission out here. So yeah, the main thing that we do is commercial cleaning. So we do that by employing individuals in the community or around the community, partnering with different organizations that work with reentry so that we can give those individuals a job opportunity. So that's like in a nutshell what we do and my little history with the company. And I don't know, yeah, if John has anything to add to that. He's the visionary and CEO behind it all. But I've been like lucky to be a part of what we've been doing, what I got to do in Columbus, and now seeing it expand in the Chicago area where I grew up. So it's like super fun for me to be a part of that.
Yeah, no, it's things started for me in Chicago. Part of the story is when I grew up in Appalachia, West Virginia, but then spent some time in Cleveland, and then was in the Marine Corps. And then after my time in the Marine Corps, Deb and I moved over to the West Side. We lived in Humboldt Park, but we did most of our ministry outreach in K-Town, and got to know Madison Pulaski really well. And a lot of the guys I hung out with were part of a group called the Vice Lords, and they educated me on their experiences in that little club. And I said, hey, you guys looking for some work? And they said, yeah, nobody will hire us because of our backgrounds. And so that's kind of how things got started in terms of thinking about how business could be a means for creating supportive employment for individuals who've had some challenges in their past. Worked with Clean Slate in Chicago for about 10 years, helped it get up off the ground and running with the CARA program. And then some folks said, hey, will you do something similar in Chicago or in Columbus? So we started Clean Turn, serving a different segment of the market. It's a different model. It's not a transitional job program, although a lot of folks use us as a stepping stone to move on to other opportunities in the marketplace. So we launched Clean Turn about a decade ago, as Joy said, in Columbus. And then last summer, when we realized that Joy was thinking about going back to Chicago, we thought about the seeds that have been planted over the years in Chicago. We thought, well, we want to expand. Joy's got the energy and the drive and the passion to make it happen. But let's give it a go. Let's launch Clean Turn in Chicago. And so super grateful for all the plugs throughout this meeting, Joseph. It's been great here. hearing you highlight Clean Turn today. We appreciate the opportunity to share. And the biggest thing that we could ask, I mean, obviously we want to be able to provide supportive employment for folks, and so looking for referrals consistently is a big piece of that. But if you know anybody that needs commercial cleaning and who contracts that out currently, we don't want to displace anybody that needs work. But if you know of folks that are not happy with their cleaning services and aren't getting quality cleaning or just aren't getting any cleaning that need it, I know Joy would be glad to connect with those folks so that we can create more opportunities. And so, but thanks for the opportunity to share today. And it's neat to hear the energy and drive of this group. And it's also neat to hear, Joseph, you lead this group, and your passion for the Lord and for community is just clearly evident. And so it's great to be able to it's a privilege to be able to be on this call today. So thank you.
All right. Are there any questions? Because
I should also say real quick, Joseph, I went to Moody for my undergrad. That's how I got introduced to Chicago. Was I did my undergrad at Moody and then went out to Wheaton. And so and volunteered. But the shelter I was volunteering at was the old school Pacific Garden Mission back in the day. And so anyways, yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Yeah. The movie that we watched, is there a way, I'm not saying share it, or is there a way that we can get the individuals on this call where they can watch it, or is it going to come out soon, or what's going on with that?
Yes, that's a great question. Yeah, it's going to come out in the fall on PBS, and so it'll be available in public. But what we could do, if there's interest or capacity, we're doing another screening in Columbus targeting the business community. We are looking to have about 100 business leaders. We could work with Responsible Business Initiative for Justice and represent Justice on doing another Chicago screening on the West Side. And we'd be glad to host it and take care of the behind the scenes lead work and costs. If we wanted to extend an offer for folks on the call and folks in the network to come together and bring their resources, and it could be like a meeting, but around the screening. And then if that would be something that would be of interest. Yeah.
When I see that, and I think of Miss Moon and she has, it's not similar, but it is similar in a lot of ways because she was as well impacted for her video advocating for those who were homeless, right? Have work, have done their time and can't find housing. And that's similar to what was going on in that film because these individuals had came home, they were ready, but they're still an impact. And shout out to Ms. Cologne from Safer, because she kind of went into her story as well. And I know a lot of women have these stories where they get out, but they still have to go through so many barriers to get their kids back. They still have to go through so many barriers to have a normal life, right? They've paid their debt, but it's still hard for them to, to get through these barriers. And that film, it left something on me, right? Because everybody was in there crying. I was over there like this.
Yeah.
Because it was a tearjerker, right? It had three or four different stories from different ladies, different walks of life, but it was still the same focus. But I bring that up because, I just want to say that your organization, your business is more than just, clean turn, right? You're advocating for so much more. And that's the reason why I promote you. That's the reason why I believe in what you're doing. And that's the reason why we partner with you, right? Because we believe in what you're doing and the services and the things that you're trying to do to help the community, right?
Thank you, Joseph. Yeah. No, you're spot on. The documentary does a great job, and we've been able to employ a little over 1,000 folks in Columbus over the last 10 years, and a little over 5,000 with Kara and Clean Slate and 180 and all these different ventures. But I felt like that documentary, when I first saw it, I thought this really does a good job tracing not only the women that were incarcerated, but their families and the impact on their families while they were incarcerated, and then the challenges that they had to go through as they reintegrated back in. And so for us, it's one thing to talk to the business community about the challenges, but to have them see this documentary, that's our main goal as a business to the other businesses that we're able to introduce this video to. Because folks that work in this space, we get it, we see it right all the time, but we've got to get the business community, small businesses, big businesses, we got to get them greater exposure. And if they can't get to a prison and they can't get to know anybody, well, this is another way to kind of at least introduce them and give and kind of widen their lens and their framework that they're viewing life in, and kind of rope them into the conversation so they can start thinking about how they can be a fair chance employer. So,
right.
Exactly. Ms. Reese has a question. You got your hand up?
My question was primarily what was the film about, because I wasn't familiar, but you all kind of went into that a bit. So
It's a great film. I want to say 4 individuals or 3 individuals, but they all are all from Columbus. They're all in this correctional facility, and it just has a lot of there's a lot to it, right? Like there's this one lady, she made a bad choice, right? And she was like, she got hurt, and then she was taking pills, and then the pills ended up she getting addicted. She made a mistake, right? And then her oldest son, she's not connected with him, and then the father's about to, it's like really tragic, right? The sister, she's on there, and her daughter is watching her through a camera. And then when she get home, it's like, how do you get that? Because she just wants to be mommy to her, but now she's at this certain age where she just don't, like, oh, back off me a little bit. It's hard, right? These women have to do so much to get their kids back, first of all, right? Then on top of that, they have to do all of these different services. Like they have to get on this meeting, be on this meeting, and then try to get a job so that they can get somewhere to stay, right? So all these barriers is smacking them left and right. And I'm pretty sure they don't have those programs in Chicago that they had out there, because I'm like, I've never seen a program like that, right? The woman she believed in them so much, she was taking them shopping on her own time, on her own accord. So it's a very impactful film. You are gonna cry, right?
Yes.
I would love for everybody to be able to see it. So they did say it was gonna be on PBS. If we can't get that going, as far as bringing another one, it will be on PBS. And when it does, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to let everybody know. But it was very impactful. But to see them trying to get over those hurdles, right? Just trying to get over those hurdles and then overcoming, right? Overcoming, but it's
Nice
not,
to meet you. Nice to meet
you have
you.
to understand that,
Yeah, thank you. I'm on a call right now.
Reentry, it starts inside, right? But the impact on the lives of not only the individual, but their children. Imagine the girl was like the baby, she was a baby when she went in, and she come out, she like 5, 6, 7 years old. Where your mama been at? Now your mother here, and she just want to do so much. It's like, it's hard.
I don't mind. What's the name? Yeah, go ahead.
Kids got to deal with a lot. So it's hard on them. And like he said, he wants to let the businesses understand, right? And this is how we change the workforce in Chicago. This is how we change the workforce on the West Side, where we're giving opportunities to those with the background, and we have an understanding of the challenges that they're still going to have to go through. So, the movie is called Apart. The film is called Apart. Great film. Are there any questions for either Joy or for John?
I'm sorry about that. I don't have any questions at this time. I'm sorry. I'm on the Zoom listening and paying attention, but I'm also at the funeral home planning the funeral right now. So I'm actually in and out.
Yes, but you might as well just go on and handle your business, right? Because the family is important. And like I said, this is recorded. Handle your business with your family. That's the most important. We about to shut it down anyway. So family is always first.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Anybody else have a question, comment, want to learn more, want to find out?
I'm going to, if you can, just once it's all complete, just send the copy of this recording. I want to get it to the RN manager for the team, the vaccination and testing team I work for.
Yes, ma'am.
And I also want to get it to like the project manager and some of the big people in the department that I work for. It's the Community Health Equity and Engagement, and they're looking into housing, healthcare, nutritional services, all of these things. So I think that between that department and everything you all have to offer, it'd be nice to form some kind of partnership. I'm sure there's something to be done there.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mr. Green, I just want to say thank you for inviting me, and this is very informative, bringing all this resource together. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Mr. Coakley, I see you had jumped in. He's from CSAC South target area. Did you want to add something?
Nah, I just hey, I've got a lot going on over here. I see you're still doing it, man. I appreciate you. I just want to give a shout out to you, man, and say keep up the good work, man. I'm so proud of you.
Yes, sir. I definitely would like for you to link up with Ms. Pinkston if you can. Maybe shoot her your email address, because you definitely want to be connecting with her on the South Side with the work that she's doing. Definitely want to connect with her. And anybody else that is interested in CSAC, you want to connect with Mr. Coakley for CSAC South, and that will cover your South Side. And then I can give you information from Mr. Williams or for Mr. Hardwick on the North Side. So we don't always go to each other's meetings because we are busy, right? But we are here in solidarity with each other because we all doing the work. So I thank you, Joy, and I thank you, John, for taking time out today to just really present and just talk about a couple of things. If you're interested in more, please get in contact with them or notify me and I will connect you. If you are interested in City Serve, right? I need 10 volunteers. 10. It don't have to be you. It could be somebody from your organization. If you are interested in what we talked about, want to learn more, 2622 West Jackson. I'll have the flyer put out today. Before I leave today, I'm going to send that flyer to everybody on your email, okay? And if you have any events coming up for Juneteenth, send them to me so I can put them out there and then make sure that everybody is in the know. I did have an announcement for coming back, but I'm gonna save that because I don't know if we're coming back in June, but we are coming back to physical meetings. The next CSAC meeting will be physical, okay? I already got approval for what I wanted to do, but I wanna make sure that all my I's are dotted and my T's are crossed before I make that announcement. And because June is gonna be so heavy with events and everything now, with Juneteenth being a national holiday, it's gonna be, you know, the meeting might take, you know, other things might take precedence over this. So, because I know that Friday people are gonna be working hard, doing a lot of different events. So I'll let you know, right? But for right now, once we come back, and there will be the option of Zoom and physical, but you definitely, when we go back, you definitely want to be in the building. Okay, because we have lunch. Y'all never been to only a couple of y'all been. We have a lunch. It's a very nice setting, intimate setting. We're all together. And you get to network and meet people and give someone a card and talk to somebody. So I thank you for taking time out on your Friday. And look, it's only 118, 120. Usually we go to 2 o'clock. We finish, right? Get out of here. Go enjoy your weekend. God bless you. And I will see you soon. And I'll send that link. The link for this will be next week because I'm not going to wait for it to render today. But I will send out another with a couple of flyers and some more information. So thank you. Join the Facebook page. Join the YouTube page. Support, because we want to support you. God bless you and have a good weekend and be safe.
Thank you, Joseph.
Thanks,
Thanks, Joseph.
All right.
Blessed weekend, everybody.